In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to create a custom shop page. When you first install Divi and WooCommerce, this is the shop page that you get. But as you can see, this doesn't look very exciting. So at the end of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to come up with this design. So you can see here we have our image in the background. We also have a title here. We also have a custom search. And then over here, we have a filter by price. And also we customize this sidebar and also take a look at our products here. I'm sure you can agree with me that this is a much better design as compared to this. So this is what we're going to be doing in today's tutorial coming up. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Mac and in today's video it's all about WooCommerce and how to create a beautiful shop page. So before we get started, I'd like to remind you that if you buy Divi using my affiliate link in the video description below, you will get access to my web design formula course, a course that teaches you how to design professional looking websites with Divi. All you have to do after purchasing Divi is to drop me an email and I'll give you access to the course. And also this layout that I'll be designing, I'm giving it away for free. So all you have to do is to go to the link in the video description below and download it absolutely free. You can use it on as many projects as you want, and you can use it on as many websites as you want to. Okay, so without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let me show you how to create this shop page. All right, so before we get started, I'd like to talk about where I got my images. And it's very important that when you create an online store, you need to have really nice images. So I went to a website called pexels.com. This is a royalty-free image website. You can use these images for your projects and so on with no issue of licenses. All right, so what I did here is I searched for shoes because the website we're going to create here is a website about shoes. So I just clicked on shoes here and these are the shoes I got. I downloaded all these images onto my local computer and then I uploaded onto my website. Now let me show you how I did that. So to upload all your images, you need to come over here to media and then click on add new. And then all you have to do is to drag all your images here, or you can click select files. Now this will now take you to your local computer and this is where you can select all your images. Now, once all your images are now on your website, you are now pretty much ready to go. So let's dive in and let me show you now how to create this shop page. So to do that, you want to come all the way down here to Divi and then click on theme builder. Now it's always better to use the theme builder because all the changes you're going to make are going to be on pretty much one place. So if you do this in the theme builder, it is very, very easy to update and manage. All right, so now that we're here, one also important thing that I forgot to mention is you need to install WooCommerce. It's absolutely free. So to install it, you need to come over here to plugins and then click on add new. And then you want to search for WooCommerce. So let's just go ahead and do that quickly. So there we go. Just search for WooCommerce there. And the first result here is the one. And as you can see, it's got 5 million plus active installs. Very, very powerful. So you want to go ahead and click on install and then activate. So once you do that, you're going to get these entries here, WooCommerce and products. Okay. Now, I did mention that I was going to create the page first. Now, before we do that, why don't we add our products onto our shop first? So to add our products, I'm going to come over here and click on add new. Right, so I'm just going to name these products product A, B, C, D, E, F, because that way it's just easy because it's quite difficult for me to come up with names right now. All right, so I'm going to do one and then you can go ahead and do the rest. Okay, so this is going to be products 1. Okay, now in here, you want to add your description. So what I'm going to do is to use some lorem text. So I'm going to type my dummy text in here. And then next I need to add my price. And this is going to be, let's say 65. Great. And I can also add a category here if I wanted to, but to add a new category, you can just click here on add new category. And this is how I created this. But you know what? I'm not going to use these categories right now. And then next, what I need to do here is to also add a short description. We don't really need this, but usually I just add the short description like that. And what's important here now is to add our product image. So I'm going to click here on set product and I'm just going to start adding all my shoes now. So I'm going to start off with this one here, set product image. And now you can see I've added my image. I've added my short description, I've added my price, and I've also added my long description. So pretty much this is all we need for our products. And you want to go ahead now and add 8 more products or 7 more to make them a total of 8 for our layout. But of course, your shop is going to have as many products as you want, and you can categorize them however you want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now quickly and add 7 more products, and then I'm going to join you very soon. All right, so I'm adding my last product now, which is product 8. So I'm going to click here on add new, then give it a title. I'm going to add my description in here, my price, and then I'm also going to add my short description. And then finally, I'm going to add my image, and these are the shoes I'm going to add. Set my product image. And then finally, I'm going to publish. So pretty much I've added all my products onto my shop, the description, the price, and everything. So the next step now is just to take a quick look and make sure that all my products are on my shop. And to do that, all I have to do is to click on all products, and I should get a list of all of them. So you can see here, I have product 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's pretty cool. The next step now is to go in and start designing our page. Now, the reason why we had to add our products first is because if we don't add our products first, we're not going to be able to show them on our shop page. So this is why we had to do this step first. All right, so let's go ahead now and create the shop. Okay, so what you want to do now is to scroll all the way down here to Divi, hover over here, and then click on Theme Builder. So if I click here on Theme Builder, this now is going to take us into this new interface. So all I have to do now is to click on this plus button, and then I need to scroll all the way down here and select shop. Now, this is the shop page that we need to design. And this page comes in by default with WooCommerce. So why don't we take a look at what this page looks like before we start designing it? Okay, so I'm going to come over here. Search for shop. And this is what our shop page looks like. So as you can see, it's pretty boring. There's nothing really much going on here. So ideally, we want this page to look beautiful. This is why we need to go into the theme builder and start designing it. All right, so back over here now, what we need to do is to make sure we select shop and then click on create template. So where we're going to focus our energy on is right here on the custom body. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on build custom body. Now for this, we're going to build everything from scratch. So we're going to choose here, build from scratch, and click on start building. So what I'm going to do first here is to just choose a single column. And in that column, we're going to add a text module. Right, so in here, we're going to just add some text which says start shopping, like that. And then we're just going to design this a little bit. We're going to come over here to text, and we're just going to make sure that everything is all centered. So I'm going to click here on the text alignment and center it. Okay, so now that it's centered, we need to change our font. So for our font style, I want to make sure it's all caps. And for my font, I am going to choose Poppins. Here we go. Some favorite font. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this for now as it is. I'm going to save that. And then next, I'm going to come over here now to my section settings, click on background. And I want to start off by adding a color here. So I'm going to start off by adding white as my background. And then over here, I'm going to add my image. Now, remember, we uploaded our image from our computer, and this is the image that I'm going to use. I'm going to click upload an image. And now you can see here that we have our image. That's great. All right, so the next step now is to add some padding. So I'm going to come over here to design, and then I am going to go to spacing. So for our padding, I am going to use percentage. So let's start with, let's say 10%. So I'm going to add this both to the top and the bottom. So initially here, I'm just going to play with my sizing here just to see if everything is going to look great. And now I can just go into my mobile views and see. So as you can see here, it's pretty much not too bad. And over here as well on the phone, that looks great. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. So the next step now is to just save this. And then I am going to now work on my text here. So I'm going to go back into my text settings. And I have to decide now if I need to make the text white or if I need to make it black. All right, so you know what we're going to do? We are going to make this image very, very light. So the text is going to be dark. So let's go now into the design text, and we're going to increase the size a little bit here to about, say, 28. And let's choose a color here, which is not pretty much black, but okay, let's choose black for now for our color. Now we're also going to make this bold. There we go. I may want to increase the size a little bit here. Let's go with, let's say 32. So as you can see here, this text is a bit too dark, but we want the background to have a contrast. So what we're going to do now is to go now and start working on the background. So I'm going to come back here, click on background, and then while we have this tab activated, we're going to come all the way down here, and then we're going to click on image blend, and we're going to click on screen. And now you can see my image has disappeared. But here's the thing. If I go back now to my color here, I can click anywhere around here and then drag the slider down, and this is going to start bringing my image in. So as you can see here, this has great contrast. My image in the background is very light, but the text also is much, much easier to read. So the text, regarding the text, you can make this whatever color you want. So you can make this really dark, or you can even choose a color like red. That usually works okay too. So let's just go back and see what happens if we change this to red. And to be honest, I'm not really a fan of that. So let's stick with our color here. All right, so we're going to save now. Now the next part is to work on the next area, which is the part where we display our product. So how do we do that? So next, what we need to do here is to click on this plus button, click on regular. So the layout that we're going to go with here is, you know what? Let's first go with a single column, and let's add a search in here. There we go. So we're going to add a search. So this is going to enable people to search for the products on the shop page. Okay, so that's great. I'm just going to leave this as it is and just click on Save Changes. All right, so on the left here, we're going to add a sidebar. So let's search for our sidebar here like that. So I'm just going to leave this as sidebar for now because I need to go in and customize it. So I'm going to save that. And then over here now is where we're going to add our product. So let's look for our shop module. Here it is. I'm going to save that. Great. So here are our products. So our product count here, we're going to set this to 8, but of course you can set yours to whatever you want. All right. So great. We have our products now. I'm going to now save this. And as I'm looking at this, I think this area here needs to be much smaller. It's a bit too big. So let's go back here to our column structure and let's make it 1/4 to 3/4. There we go. So now this is looking much, much better. Now we're also going to make this even more exciting by increasing the size of our row here. So I'm going to come over here to my rows, click on design, sizing. Ideally, I want my maximum width here to be 80% as well. Oops. There we go. So that's going to be 80%. And I'm also going to use custom gutter width and reduce this to about 2. So our products here are pretty much closer together. All right. So now that we have this all set, you can see everything is looking nice and big. We have our search bar here. So all we have to do now is to go in and customize our search bar here. Okay, so to do that, what we need to do is first of all, reduce this padding. So I'm just going to highlight over here and then just drag this just to, in fact, you know what? Let me click on this chain so that when I reduce this, it's happening both to the top and the bottom. All right, so now that we've adjusted that, maybe it's a good idea to maybe perhaps have it here as well. So it's up to you how you want to do it. So let's see how this is going to look when we add it above the actual products. Nope, that doesn't look good. All right, so we're going to leave everything as it is here. Now let's go in and add a color to our background here. So we're going to go in and let's choose a nice gray color here, dark gray. There we go. I'm going to save that. And then over here, we're going to make this a bit smaller. The search bar is a bit too big, so we're going to click here on design, sizing, and let's reduce this to about 70%. And we are also going to need to center it. Okay, that's much better now. Save that. In fact, you know what? That's still a bit too big. So let's go back in and bring it down to maybe about 60%. There we go. I'm going to save that. Okay, that's looking much better now. So let's go in and customize our search bar now. Okay, so placeholder, I'm just going to say search for products, or in this case, shoes, because this is a shoe shop. Okay, so my text here is not easy to read. So let's go in and customize it. So you see what I've done here. I just clicked on this paintbrush tool and it's taken me now to my text placeholder. Okay, so there we go. I've just added it white and yeah, I think that works okay. So the next step now is to customize my search here. So my search button here, I'm going to add Poppins as my text. And for my color here, I'm going to go with this black. Now let's work on the border. So I'm going to come all the way down here. In fact, let's go to spacing first. Add a bit more spacing in here. I'm going to also do left and right. Okay, that looks much better. So let's go with 1.1. Let's see how that looks. Or maybe 1. Okay, I think that's much better now. Right, so that's going to be our search bar. I'm going to save that. Now let's customize our images here and our products. So what I'm going to do now is to click here on my module settings. So what I can do straight away is to click here on this paintbrush tool. Now this is going to bring us into our settings. So I'm going to add some rounded corners here and it's only going to be about 3 pixels. I want it very, very slight. Okay. Next, I'm going to also work on my product titles, making sure everything is consistent. I'm going to make sure this is set to Poppins. And I am also going to increase the size a little bit. Let's go with about, actually, you know what? 16 is fine. Now let's go to the pricing. We're going to change the font as well, change it to Poppins. And let's make this red. And we also need to make it bold. Now that's a bit too much. So let's go with medium. There we go. So I think medium looks much better here. So that's looking great. Now, as you can see here, we also have this overlay. This color here does not match what we have here on our website because we're using grays and blacks. So we're going to work on this now. So let's do the overlay. So I'm going to come over here to overlay and our icon is going to be, okay, let's go with white. And for our overlay color, I don't want to add any colors here. I just want to make sure this is transparent. And then all I have to do now is to choose my icon. So I'm going to click here on this magnifying glass. And now you can see it's showing right there. Great. So this is now customized. I've changed the text. I've changed the color of my pricing. I've also changed my icon on hover. So this is looking really, really good. What I need to do now is to work on my sidebar because I don't have the exact items that I need here because as you can see, things are not really looking great here. Okay, so I'm going to save this template now. So again, take a look at what our product page looked like, our shop page. You can see here it's /shop. Like I mentioned, this is very boring. So in a moment, you're going to see it transformed into something that looks pretty much like this. So what we need to do now is to go and work on our sidebar. So to do that, I'm just going to go in here and go to my dashboard. But you know what? I need to do this in a new tab. All right. So what I need to do now is to go to appearance and then I need to click on widgets. So this is the sidebar that we chose. And this is what we have. So you can see here we have search, we have recent posts and recent comments. So here's our search, recent posts and recent comments. So what we need to do is to get rid of this. So I'm going to delete that, delete that. We already have a search, so I'm going to delete that too. And then over here now is where we can add everything that we need that relates to our shop. So filter by price, I think this is a good one to have. So I'm going to add it over here. And I also need to look for other items. So let's see. We want some categories here because categories would work really well. So let's search for our product categories. So here are our product categories. I'm going to drag this all the way up like that. So do I want to show hierarchy? Maybe not. So I'll remove the hierarchy. I'm going to save this. Okay. And I also may need one here. And this is perhaps maybe to show recent product reviews or recent viewed products. Okay, let's go with this one here. All right. So we're going to add this here as well. So you can pretty much drag this wherever you want. So if you want the product categories to be above the recent viewed, you can always do that by just dragging it like that. Okay, so pretty much my sidebar is good. I'm going to come back over here now and hopefully I'm able to refresh it. And this is going to show everything that I have on my page, which I've just updated. All right, so as you can see, our sidebar is now showing. So what I need to do next is to go in and customize our font. So I'm going to click here on my module settings. And remember, this is for the sidebar. So all I have to do now is to go into my titles here, change my font to Poppins. And I also need to go here into the descriptions and also change my font. There we go. So everything now looks very consistent with the fonts that we have over here. So what we may also want to do here is to play around with the colors if we need to. But to be honest, I think this looks great as it is. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. Now we also have other things that we could do here. And that is we could come over here and add a background color. So if you wanted this to have, say, a background color and then give it a bit of padding just to make it separate from everything else, you can also do that. And you can also go in and just reduce. In fact, you know what? Why don't we use grays? Because we've been using a lot of gray here. So we're just going to drag this down a little bit like that. Or we can use even orange. But the trick here is just to make sure that it's not overpowering. Oops. Let's go back in. Bring this down a little bit. Add some transparency as well. Like that. Okay, so now that we have this set, we can now come over here to design. And we can go to spacing. And this is where we can add our padding. And let's start with 2% and see what this looks like, because we can always adjust this as we go. All right, so I've added 2% and all I have to do now is to use the dial. I think 10 is a bit too much. So let's go with 6. Okay, now we also need to do the border. So I'm going to come over here and we are going to add 3 because that's what we have here on the images. So let's save this. And to be honest, I really like how it's looking. All right, so let's save this one more time. And then we are going to exit and save all changes. So what we had is a page that really started off very basic and without a lot of design. And then we ended up with a page that looks really, really cool. So let's go through and take a look at what we have here. So this is what we started off with. And this is what you get out of the box with Divi. And then over here, this is what we've just designed. So let me refresh the page and so you can see what it looks like. So there we go. And you can see here, this is our sidebar that looks really nice. It has our recently viewed products. We also have our product categories and we also have filter by price, which I think is a very good feature. Over here now, you can see we have all our products and we also have our search. Now, there's a few things that I may want to do here. Perhaps maybe just do a little bit of a design to this. It doesn't really look nice. And also I want to see if I can add 4 products per row. All right, so back over here now, we're going to start off with our search. So I'm going to come over here to elements. So you see where it says show button. To be honest, I don't think I want to show that. Okay, because anyone can see search for shoes is here and pretty much they can search in there. Great. Also here on the exceptions, I can exclude certain things here, but because this is a shop, I want the search to only include products. Okay, so I want to exclude all pages and also want to exclude posts. Okay, so all I want here is products. Okay, next I'm going to come over here to design And I'm going to now take a look here at the field. So the placeholder color, that I'm going to leave it as it is. So field background. In fact, you know what I need here is the border. So I'm going to come all the way down here and go to our border. And you can see here it's 1 pixel. I really want to make it 2. And for my color, I'm just going to remove that and just add a bit of transparency to my color here. And I think I like what that looks like now. Let's see if we can add maybe 3 and go back and add a bit of transparency. There we go. I think that looks much better now. And then let's go in and adjust our text. And for our text as well, we are also going to make it gray. There we go. Right. I think that looks much better. I'm going to save that. And what I also need to do here is to come over here to my shop module. So for my products here, I want to make sure that I add my latest products because this is my shop. I'd like people to see the latest products when they come to my shop page. So this is what I've just chosen. And then over here on the column layout, I want to add 4 columns because my images here are a bit too big. So ideally, I want them to be slightly smaller. So you can see now that is much, much neater. And I'm really happy with how it looks now. So I'm going to save this now. And also here, I need to add a bit more padding to the left and to the right. So I'm just going to go back in here, click on design, spacing, and I'm just going to increase my padding. Oh, oops, I'm adjusting the wrong one here. It's left and right. So let's go with 10. And I'm also going to do top and bottom and then save. Now, while we're here, I also need to make sure that this is looking great on all devices. So I'm going to click here on tablet view. And I can see here, everything is in place. That looks nice. And my products look great. And let's have a look at the mobile. And again, my products here are showing great. I'm happy with that. And yep, everything is looking great. So this is the step that is also very important when you design your page. You want to make sure that everything looks great in all devices. Right, so I'm going to now save this. And let's do a quick refresh and see what this looks like. Now, before we see the final thing, let's just go back to how things were. So we changed our design, which is the normal shop design, from this to now this. So take a look at that. Isn't that amazing? So we have our custom sidebar here. We have our images here, our products, and also we have our custom search here where we can search for our products. All right, so pretty much this is how you create a custom shop page in Divi. Let me know what you think in the comments box below. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell notification. By doing so, you'll be notified when I release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.